All right. Welcome back, finally, everybody, to the Mic'd Up Podcast with Zach and Dom.
Yep, been a long hiatus, but we're back. We're back. It's been busy past couple weeks.
Back and better than ever, baby.
Yep. All right. You want to start? You want me to?
You go ahead and start today. I feel like I've been starting a lot.
All right. Probably the biggest story of the last couple weeks is that Aaron Rodgers has signed a 1-year deal worth $13.6 million with the Pittsburgh Steelers to see up at quarterback.
Yeah.
At first, I was pretty upset, just because I wanted Will Howard to be the starter. I wanted to see him start and be their QB this year. But after thinking it over and sitting on it, I think it's probably the best case scenario, signing Rodgers, because he gets to sit behind him and learn from it for a year. It's probably best so he isn't thrown right into the NFL and then stinks and loses all of his confidence. That's a big problem with quarterbacks. They get thrown in too early, then they sink, and they lose all their confidence. And so,
I think before the draft episode,
mm-hmm.
before we found out that they drafted,
Howard
did draft
mm-hmm.
a quarterback, I think we were talking about it, and I said they might draft a young quarterback
mm-hmm.
and then sign a veteran like Aaron Rodgers to kind of coach him up into and develop him.
Yeah,
it's almost exactly what they did.
Yeah, it's best case scenario for any young quarterback. Like the Browns, for instance. I'm not a fan of who they drafted with their two picks, with Dylan Gabriel and Shador, but they can sit behind Joe Flacco and learn from him. So
Yeah.
It's best case scenario. I mean, look at the Packers. They've done that for the past 3 quarterbacks.
The Browns also have 5 fucking quarterbacks right now, don't they?
Kenny Pickett, the 2 draftees, Joe Flacco, and Deshaun.
Right. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What are they doing over there?
They don't know.
Yeah.
Their theory was like, or their strategy was, hey, if we have 5 quarterbacks, no way all 5 of them can be bad, right?
They just managed to get 5 not good
quarterbacks. Yeah. But back to the quarterback thing. The Packers, they've done that. They did that with Rodgers. They drafted him, and he sat behind Favre for 3 years. They did it with Jordan Love. Drafted him, sat behind Rodgers for 3 years, and now the Steelers are doing it with Rodgers and Will Howard. I think Rodgers is a great mentor. Like when he came in the league, like I said with Brett Favre hated Aaron Rodgers, absolutely despised him. He was like, it's not my job to be his mentor, not my job to be his friend. He can learn if he wants. He can watch me. And Rodgers, I'm sure Rodgers didn't take lightly to that, so I'm sure like when it was his time to be the mentor, he learned from Favre's mistakes. He's like, I'm not going to be a dickhead. I'm not going to be that guy that Favre was.
I'm going to be the mentor that I wanted.
Yeah. The mentor that I wanted, the mentor that I needed,
Yeah.
So, he gets to sit behind Rodgers for a year, unless Rodgers signs another deal, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah. We'll see, though. Only time will tell there.
Even though I'm saying all this and it's good to sit behind him, I don't think that Will Howard would have sunk. I don't think he would have been thrown in and sunk. He's played a ton of football games in his career, totaling 50 games through 5 years. That's an average of 10 games per year. He has plenty of experience, like everywhere, anything and everything. I was watching this Ben Roethlisberger pod with Will Howard, and Will Howard was saying that he's been in nearly every position you could possibly be in as a quarterback. He's been a backup, he's been a starter, he's been benched, he's thrown 3 interceptions in a game, and he's thrown for 4 touchdowns in a game. There's not much that he hasn't seen. So him being as experienced as he is, I don't think he would have got thrown in and sunk. But like I said earlier, sitting a year under Rodgers, it certainly isn't going to hurt.
It is a ginormous step up going to college and NFL, though. You know what I mean? So you're right. I think 1 year, maybe not 3 years, like
Jordan Love,
the Packers, maybe. But I think 1 year is probably going to be great for him.
He's very experienced. He's seen nearly everything. He's been in college football since 2020. This is an experienced guy we're talking about here.
Right.
Moving over to the college side of football, like we were just talking about a little bit there.
Yeah.
Michigan. So here's like a little backstory. Michigan signed the number 1 quarterback of the 2025 class.
Okay.
So he'll be he
Where
is a
did
freshman
he come
right
from?
now. Michigan.
Oh,
He came from Michigan.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
I don't know what city.
Michigan got lucky there.
Yeah. Well, at first
he's a hometown hero. He's going to want to
he
go
was
to
committed to
Michigan.
LSU. LSU.
Oh, LSU.
LSU.
Why OU?
Yeah, LSU, and then Michigan came in, and then eventually he flipped because they gave him $12.5 million to go to Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Born in
I'll
Detroit,
take that
Michigan.
shit too.
So yeah, Michigan born, Michigan raised.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they signed the one quarterback of the 2025 class, Bryce Underwood, and everyone up until this point believes he would be the starter next season because I can't really name a good Michigan quarterback that they have on the roster right now.
Didn't they have a guy like last year or 2 years ago with a crazy ass last name?
Alex Orji.
Orji, yeah, Orji.
I don't know where. I think he transferred out. He didn't. I think he started a couple games last year, but he didn't.
I only ever saw him go in the game when they needed him to run the goddamn ball.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was. He transferred to UNLV. Started 3 games last year. Transferred to UNLV. So yeah, they lost Alex Orji. Davis Warren, I think, was the guy that played against Ohio State. He was a walk-on. So yeah, they didn't have anybody good. So everyone figured that he would be the starter, Bryce Underwood. He'd come in and be a starter, and so they don't have any good quarterbacks. Pete Nakos, a recruiting specialist, like he works for. So like there's 24/7 Sports, which does recruiting. They rank the top 247 players. Then there's also On3, which is like a newer recruiting site. It came to be in 2021, but they're the same thing. They're both recruiting sites. So they rate players and whatever. Pete Nakos is a recruiting specialist for, I believe, On3. So like he works for them, and he believes Michigan will sign transfer Jake Garcia from ECU, graduate transfer. He's a quarterback. Now I know there have been concerns about Bryce Underwood's weight because in high school he wasn't very big, like he wasn't very fat or anything. But as he's come into the spring training and we see the pictures of him, he's thrown. He's wearing a little crop top, and you can see his belly hanging. So I know there are some concerns about his weight. Yeah, I know there are some concerns about his weight. But if I had to guess, they're probably just doing this to get the best out of him, out of Underwood, and making it a competitive QB room. And we're bringing this guy in. We're trying to get you to look your best. We're going to bring in some competition. And I believe they also probably want a veteran for this 18-year-old who's going to have to come out and play at Oklahoma in week 2 and then Nebraska in week 4.
Right.
In that Nebraska game, they're going to be without their head coach, who will be suspended for the cheating allegations.
I don't know if I heard about that.
The Michigan cheating scandal. Where they were
stealing, I thought you meant Nebraska.
No.
Okay, no. Michigan, I did hear about that. Okay. I was like, what the fuck did Nebraska do?
Michigan suspended their head coach, Sharon Moore, for the 3rd and 4th game.
Deserved.
Self-imposed, yeah. Well, I'm getting into that. The way they did it was...
Yeah, I don't know.
The way they did it was fucking... Well, usually...
They could suspend all of Michigan's coaches if they asked me.
Usually... You just suspend your coach for the first 2 games. If he's suspended for 2 games, you do the first. However, but they picked and chose which ones they wanted. So that rolls me in my next subject. Speaking of cheating allegations,
so they kind of
hit
another gray area.
Yeah.
This isn't fucking NASCAR, boys.
No, it is not. It is not. The Committee on Infractions, or COI, is the abbreviation, has given Michigan their final punishments. Michigan can respond and object if they feel the punishments are too harsh, but they have received them. None of the punishments have been made public yet because Michigan still has time to appeal. So they've been given their punishments, and Michigan can be like, hey, fuck you, we believe it's this, it's too harsh, blah, blah, blah. But it's said that the punishments will come in the next 30 to 90 days, so this whole Michigan cheating scandal will officially be over in 90 days max. Now, what I think will happen is just scholarship reductions and fines. Like, hey, we're reducing your amount of scholarships from 35 to 25 this year.
Dang.
And then getting fined or whatever. And then maybe a longer suspension for Sharon Moore, their head coach, which I think he should get it. Because I'll get into it. My dad seems to think that they will have wins vacated and a postseason ban on top of the scholarship reduction and fines. My dad watches this dude called, his name's Kirk Barton, but his thing is Nevada Buck in Buckeye Scoop. He's like an insider, so supposedly he has like insider information and whatnot. He swears up and down the hammer's coming. He said that since the thing started. It's like, oh, the hammer's coming, they're getting their wins vacated, this and that, blah, blah, blah. He thinks the death penalty's coming. So my dad's like a cult follower of him. So my dad thinks that they're going to get wins vacated. Him and I have a bet, actually, if they don't get any wins vacated. And so I think it's just going to be scholarship reduction, fines, and maybe a 1-year postseason ban. My dad thinks it'll be 2. If I win, my dad cuts the grass from whenever the punishments come out to the end of the year. If he wins, I have to make dinner for him and Tiz 5 times. So we got a little self-battle going on. However, even if they do get the wins vacated, like my dad thinks, from the 2021 to 2023 seasons, the championship will still stand. The College Football Playoff Committee, and the NCAA are two separate entities. Like they're not the same. The College Football Playoff Committee has already come out and said Michigan won their title fair and square. In January, the NCAA gave Michigan their notice of allegations, which is like, here, this is what we're charging you for, or like this is what you're being investigated for. And the university claimed that the NCAA was grossly overreaching and wildly overcharging due to a lack of evidence. So I expect Michigan to appeal whatever punishment, whatever decision is coming, because they obviously don't think they should have any sort of punishment. They don't see what they did. Yeah, they don't see what they did wrong. So it'll probably be closer to that 90-day mark. Now back to that Sharon Moore suspension. Michigan self-imposed a suspension on head coach Sharon Moore. They suspended him for games 3 and 4, which is ordinary, because you usually suspend your coach for the first 2 games if they're suspended for 2 games. Like Urban Meyer in 2018, he was suspended for 3 games because he knew about our wide receiver coach Zach Smith. He had a domestic violence allegation or whatever, and Urban didn't do anything, so the university suspended it for 3 games. And it was games 1, 2, and 3. Like how any other coach would, or how any other university would do it. But Michigan suspended him for games 3 and 4 because Sharon Moore is an Oklahoma alumni. He went there and played football there, and I'm sure he told the university he wanted to coach week 2 against Oklahoma. That's like a personal thing. He went there. He wants to go visit. He wants to go coach against them, whatnot. So me personally, I see this as Michigan being like, here, we suspended our coach for 2 games, all good on our end. And also kind of being smartasses about it, considering they got to pick and choose which games he's suspended for. He got suspended for deleting 52 text messages between him and Connor Stallions, who is the culprit and the head of the illegal scouting, Connor Stallions. Those messages have been recovered and reviewed by the NCAA. Sharon Moore and Connor Stallions claim that the messages were nothing important, but they're still suspending him because he deleted them. We do not know what those messages had included at this time. So, I'm sure it'll come out, but yeah, as soon as the allegations came out, Sharon Moore deleted the text messages between him and Connor Stallions. It's just been an interesting sequence, really.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's been a 2-year scandal, and I'm just ready for it to be done.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, we were talking about it this whole time. I thought it was last year. I didn't know it was 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2020. It started in 2021, and then they got caught in 2023.
Oh, God.
But, the thing is like, if the NCAA really wanted to punish them, they should have punished them they should have punished them by not allowing them to play for the title in 2023. Should have banned them then.
Yeah.
Because, now, if they punish them, if the NCAA punishes Michigan, you're just hurting the players that weren't there at the time. The players had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I mean, some of the coaches still stayed.
The coaches,
some of the coaches had something to do with it, but these like Bryce Underwood, the quarterback we were talking about, he had nothing to do with any of this. Why should he get punished for it? So yeah, if the NCAA really wanted to do anything, they should have done it back then when they found out, and not let them play for the championship.
Yeah, I agree. That's whack.
Yeah. Heading over to hockey. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals ended last night 2 nights ago, with Florida taking a 5-2 victory. They currently lead the series 3-2. Florida has won games 2, 3, and 5, with Edmonton taking games 1 and 4. They head back to Florida tomorrow night for Game 6, where the Panthers could end it and go back-to-back. Florida's...
Do you think they're going to do it?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll win tomorrow night, but I think Florida's going to win it all. They're just too good not to. Let me just read these players and list them off. People have been asking, because in the NHL, there's a salary cap, and it's a hard cap. You can't go over. It's you're allowed to spend this much per year. That's it. And, with the players Florida has, you would think that the cap doesn't affect them. So they have Alexander Barkov. He's real good. Sam Bennett, he's real good. Brad Marchand, you probably heard of him. Brad Marchand, Sam Reiner, he's really good. Matthew Tkachuk, he's very good. Carter Verhaeghe, he's really good. Gustav Forsling, he's really good. Aaron Ekblad, he's really good. Seth Jones, you know who that is. and then they got Bobrovsky in net. So like they are absolutely.
They have like 5 Olympic fucking players.
Yes, they are absolutely loaded. They're just too good to not win at all.
And Bob's in net for the Panthers?
Yeah.
Was he in net last year?
Yeah.
Bro, Bob's been winning Stanley Cups with the fucking Panthers.
Yeah.
My guy.
Yeah, he's been there ever since he left.
I'm a big fan of Bob.
He's been there ever since he left here.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Bob.
And like Edmonton has Leon Draisaitl, which he's pretty good. Evander Kane, he's pretty good. And then Connor McDavid. That's really it. I mean, Jeff Skinner, he's pretty good. But yeah, they only have like 3 or 4 good players, whereas Florida has fucking 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Florida is just they're so good. I think they're too good to not win, which is why I think they'll win.
Well, I got faith in Bob now.
Yeah, if I had to guess, they probably win tomorrow. Honestly, it's in Florida.
Yeah, it's all in game.
Game 6. They can put it away tomorrow night. If I had to guess, they'll probably take it home tomorrow. Probably have a new Stanley. Not a new, but we'll probably have a Stanley Cup champion tomorrow. Not new, because they're going back to back.
Yeah. How many times does that happen? How many times does back to back happen?
It's probably like in the NFL. They haven't done it since. No, I guess the Chiefs did it. No one's ever three-peated in the NFL.
No, the closest was the Seattle.
No.
Pretty sure.
No, the Chiefs went back to back not last year, 2 years ago and 3 years ago, and then the Patriots did it. Seattle only won 1. In the history of the NHL, 17 back-to-back Stanley Cups have been won by 10 different champions. Or 10 different franchises. So there's been it's happened 17 times by 10 different franchises. Montreal did it 5 times.
A lot more than I thought.
Edmonton did it twice. Pittsburgh did it twice. Detroit did it twice. Islanders did it 1 time, but they did 4 consecutive.
Dang.
The Maple Leafs did it twice. Flyers did it once, and Lightning did it once.
All right, well, 4 consecutive. I'll call that 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I want to find that. Damn, the Islanders won 4 straight from 1980 to 1983. That's wild.
That's insane.
Edmonton did it from 84 to 85, and then again 87 to 88. That's wild.
That is nuts, too.
Canadians also won 4 straight from... Damn, dude. So from 1976 to 1983, we only had 2 champions. Because Montreal won it from 76 to 79, and then the Islanders won it from 80 to 83.
80 did. Yeah, that's crazy. 76 to almost...
There were 2 straight
almost an entire decade.
Yeah, there were 2 straight 4-peats. That's like LeBron shit.
Yeah, dude, imagine being a hockey fan back then. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, dude. I thought basketball.
8 years of just the same shit.
I thought basketball was bad from 2011 to 2018. It was LeBron every year against whoever the fuck he's playing against. It's just always LeBron and then whoever he's playing against. Yeah, that's fucking wild. I wonder if they played each other. I'm not gonna look it up right now.
Nah.
Taking things over the probably, yeah. I'm sure they played each other at least once.
80. I'll bet 8, and I'll bet in that 80 championship, I'll bet it was them facing off against each other.
Islanders and the Flyers.
Flyers came out of nowhere that year.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Taking things
it's
over the...
Insane.
Yeah, it is. It's very wild. 2 straight 4-peats back to back. That's insane. I don't think that'll ever happen again.
No, I would say that'll never happen.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll happen in any sport.
A fucking back to back to back to back probably won't happen again.
Yeah, Yeah, unless you get a fucking insane...
Unless Panthers do it.
Yeah.
They're on the way.
Yeah. Taking things over to the NBA. We have a great series on our hands between Indiana and Oklahoma City. Indiana stole game 1.
Didn't the fucking finals just happen?
It's going on right now.
I swear the NBA finals.
Actually, they're on right now. Or maybe they played 8:30.
Yeah, I swear that shit was like fucking 2 weeks ago.
Nah, they played today at 8:30, yeah. Indiana stole game 1 in Oklahoma City, which was like... That game in itself was insane. It seemed like they were down 10 to 15 points the entire game. and then they made a late surge in the final 2 minutes to come back from an 11-point deficit. They've done this all year, though. Like, they did it against New York, the Knicks. They did it, I think, twice against the Knicks. They've done it in the regular season nonstop. Like, they are just insane with the clutch time comeback wins. It's nothing new. They've been doing this all year. The series has been back and forth, with Indiana taking game 1, OKC taking game 2, Indiana taking game 3, and OKC taking game 4. Game 5 is tonight, happening in about 20 minutes. Yep.
Nice.
They're back in OKC right now. So after game 1, Indiana stole home court advantage, because before it started, if it goes 7 games, OKC has 4 home games, Indiana has 3. But after Indiana stole game 1, they had that game, and then now there's 3 games each, home and home. So then technically they have home court advantage. But then they lost it again in game 3, losing it at home. So now it's back to OKC. OKC has 2 more home games left. Indiana has 1. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it's fucking complicated.
Yeah. J.J. Smollett has won the U.S. Open after play was suspended due to a downpour of rain. Since you were watching it, did they suspend it because of lightning, or was the rain puddling on the fairways and greens?
Did not watch the suspension. I only watched when they came back. But I can promise you there was puddles on every fairway. So I watched people hit their shot, and you'd think they just hit it out of a pond.
Yeah. Yeah, because they won't suspend it if it's just rain. But if it's thunder and lightning, and then if it's puddling and pooling on the course, then they'll suspend it.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I mean, all I saw was puddling.
Yeah.
Oakmont, dude, the fucking course was insane.
Dude, it's so dumb that they would do it like that too. It is honestly like the course itself is already super hard with the slopes. With everything, the course itself is already super hard. Why the fuck would you make the rough 5 inches long?
Not only that, is they rolled the greens another time too.
Really?
That was the fastest greens that PGA has ever done ever.
Dude,
the normal scale for PGA greens is like 12 to 13. Mm-hmm. That one was at like 14.3. Dude, it's the fastest they've ever done.
If I'm the PGA, I would never have another event at Oakmont after what happened there. One player finished under, and he was 1 under because he nailed a 64-foot birdie putt on the last hole. That's the only reason.
And the next closest to him was 1 over.
Yeah.
It's not like he was...
That course is already so hard in itself, and then they just made an absolute shit show.
Yeah. It was fun to watch.
It was. But it honestly, it didn't show who the better golfer was.
No.
At all.
Who the luckier golfer was.
Exactly, yeah. Who the luckier golfer was. That's it. That is it. Dude, I was watching this clip of Jordan Spieth. He took a hack. He was probably 90 yards out. Took a hack. The ball went 2 yards in front of him.
Name a golfer that didn't happen.
I saw Rory smash the fucking tee box marker.
That's funny as fuck.
Dude, the only reason he made the cut was, I think, because he nailed a 70-yard birdie shot. Or birdie chip. Maybe an eagle chip. He nailed some long chip just to make the cut at 7 over. Dude, what are we doing right now?
All I watched was the back stretch, really, 15 in for the final 3 pairings.
I'm gonna read you. The worst dude there, I think, was 35 over.
Oh my, that'd be me.
I forget who it was. I was looking at it yesterday because I was like, "Damn, dude, I could do that."
I was gonna say I could probably shoot 35 over. Dude.
Yeah. Oh,
I can hit the ball pretty fucking straight. I just gotta get it close to the green. Well, I'll take that back, bro. 35 over is kind of crazy. When the rough is this big.
Yeah.
35 over is pretty good.
Here it is. George Duangman some Asian dude. The first 9 of the first round, he shot a 41, followed it up with a 45. Shot an 86 that day. The second round, first 9, he shot a 47, and then the second 9, he shot a 42 for an 89 that day. 35 over. How is that even enjoyable?
I went golfing yesterday, shot a 90.
There you would have won. Like, dude, it is so bad. I went with my dad last week, and he's not very good. So we played.
I played fucking terrible.
We played from the yellows, and I was on, dude. I played. We did one mulligan per 9, and
naturally.
Yeah, and I was just on. There wasn't a shot I couldn't hit. I finished with a 78. It was so nice, but it was from the yellows, so it wasn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. The Oakmont course, like, I don't know why they wouldn't just reduce the rough to 4 inches, 3 inches, anything. Like, it is. Did you see how long it looked?
Dude, you couldn't see the ball.
No, dude, it looked like it was an abandoned house, an abandoned yard. Someone hadn't cut the grass in 3 weeks.
Zoom in.
Yeah, and you'd see nothing.
Zoom in.
You would see this. You'd see blades of grass this long.
You're just zooming in on grass.
Yeah.
You don't know the fucking ball's there.
Yeah. That's enough, dude. Like, you and I play like this. Like, if I hit it in the middle of the fairway or right outside of the rough and I lose my ball, I'm not dropping. Like, I'm not taking a drop.
Well, because we don't have fucking spotters, bro.
Yeah, because we would have a gallery like that. We would have spotters. We'd have... There, I don't know how they did it. I genuinely do not know how they did it.
But we wouldn't be able to.
No.
Without a spotter, you're not finding your ball.
You're not finding that ball. Yeah. You're going to have to play 18 balls that day.
You're going to have to play general vicinity.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going out and buying a pack of nitros to play that course.
Yeah. Like Top Flight XL.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh, my God. Yeah, play resumed yesterday. And Spawn nailed that 64-foot birdie putt to secure the win. Luckily, they were able to resume last night because it was supposed to rain again today. Although, I don't know if it did. It was supposed to. As of last night, they had an 80% chance of rain for today. Moving things over to NASCAR. After battling sickness and getting advice from F1 driver Max Verstappen, who has won the 5 races at the Mexican Grand Prix venue, Shane Van Gissenberg has won the Viva Mexico 250. I actually think it was a pretty cool setup they had. The part of the race took place inside what looked like an arena. I have a picture pulled up. I'll show you that. Yeah, dude.
I was watching it and I don't remember that.
Oh, okay, I'm looking at it. It was more like a stadium. Dude, I don't know. The camera angle they had at first, it looked like an arena. It looked like it had a closed top, but right here it looks like a stadium. But it was just like one of the turns. You'll see it. Van Gissenberg seemingly killed everyone, winning by 16 seconds. 16 seconds ahead of second place.
Yeah. On a road course, it's not very often that you see lap traffic. Buddy had lap traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's. He was killing everybody.
I'm not a big fan of road courses for NASCAR though.
I don't like them either. I don't like
them. They're not built for it.
Not only that, is the fucking the markers don't mean shit. The road boundaries don't mean shit. They just go over them, out of them anyway. Like in Formula 1, that's a fucking penalty every day of the week. Like that's what I don't know. I was watching and I was like, why the fuck? Not a single person hit this fucking turn. They all went outside and just did this.
Well, in Formula 1, they can do that also.
You get penalized.
I don't think so.
Track limits. Yes, you do. You have to stay in track limits.
Because I've played the Formula 1 video games, and like it tells you to go over. Like to get your fastest time. Like,
touching them is fine.
Oh, you're saying your car can't go completely over?
They went, dude, nowhere near. They went completely over. Say that the track line's here. They're fucking out here taking this turn, dude. I mean, it's nowhere near it. Nowhere fucking near it.
They can exceed track limits 3 times without immediate penalty. After 3 offenses, the team is warned, and the driver is shown a black and white flag acting as a final warning.
Yeah. But I mean, if you watch one lap, say a random lap fucking 100 of fucking NASCAR doing it, not a single one of them. They're all outside. There's certain turns where not a single one of them hit the goddamn track. They're all outside the track.
I think they don't penalize with NASCAR because in F1, like obviously their cars are made to cut corners.
Well, yeah, the downforce is different. Yeah, it's different. I get it. Then don't race a road track.
I agree. I do not like NASCAR. I don't like stock cars on road tracks because, like I just said, they're bulky.
I hate it.
They're bulky. They're not made to turn like that. Give them a fucking try over. Give them some sort of different, anything other than an oval track. and call it your road course. There you go. You got a special track.
Quit making right turns.
I love the oval tracks. I really do. I love the oval tracks.
Too.
I love the Daytona, the tri-oval.
I love the small tracks.
Yeah.
I love them all.
Yeah, I'm not a big road course fan. Especially because, like, it's not... it is racing, but it's also not... Like, you're going and then you're stopping, and you're slowing down to take these turns. You slow down to, like, 15 miles, and then you speed up again, and then you slow down. Like, it's so stupid.
That's what makes Formula 1 so fun, though. Formula 1's like that. It's like that. There's certain courses, like tracks on Formula 1, where if you qualify pole position, you're winning that race. Because overtaking is just not a thing. Like, race happens in qualifying.
Yeah. And it also happens, like, because in Formula 1, the winner is the fastest time, which I think is stupid.
No.
Yeah.
No, fastest lap gets a point towards championship. They get 1 point, but the winner of the race gets the most championship points.
Really?
Yes, 100%. Yes. Fastest lap does get 1 point. If you set the fastest lap, yeah, you get 1 point. But winner gets 10 points.
Yeah. I always thought it was by time.
Nope. There's different sectors on the track, and you can set records for different sectors. But yeah, no, it's whoever wins the race wins the race. And then you have constructor series as well, where if there's 2 Mercedes on the pole, then obviously they're getting 10 and 8 points or 10 and whatever points.
Yeah. I'm not
just as a constructor.
I'm not an F1 fan at all.
Oh, I'm a pretty big fan of F1. I like F1.
I would rather.
It gets pretty interesting.
I'd rather watch NASCAR backwards than watch F1.
You gotta watch.
Gotta watch. Honestly, I hate F1.
You gotta watch Lewis Hamilton. He had to take an engine penalty one race back. Like, this was like 5 years ago, I think now. But he had to go all the way to the back, and throughout like fucking 15 laps, overtook the entire field and ended up winning the fucking race.
Really?
Yeah, it was fucking amazing, dude. It was awesome. Some of the best driving you'll ever fucking see.
Yeah, I can't stand F1, honestly.
It's crazy. You gotta watch some F1 crash highlights as well. Them are fucking...
Bray loves F1. Like, he is so F1 driven and whatever, and I call him every name in the book. I'm not gonna say it on here, even though it's June. But you probably, dude, I'm like, dude, you're so fucking... This shit sucks. I would
better than NASCAR Truck Series. NASCAR Truck Series is fucking gay.
I'd much rather watch any NASCAR than F1.
Nah. I only like the Cup Series.
No, I like the Xfinity. I like the trucks.
The new gen.
I like all of it.
Nah.
I watch the ARCA races sometimes when Cletus is in it.
That's crazy.
I love anything and everything, all NASCAR. I especially love the trucks.
I like it. I prefer the super speedways in NASCAR.
Oh yeah, I think everyone does.
I mean, right, but that's why I like Formula 1. They're going fucking 200 mile an hour and slamming into a fucking corner or an S turn. Fucking.
It just reminds me of like go-karting. Like when I watch
fucking sick.
Yeah, but like when I watch F1, I think of go-kart. When I watch NASCAR, I'm like, damn, these dudes are racing Mustangs and Camaros and fucking anything and everything else. Like, I think of actual car racing. When I watch F1, I just imagine them fucking little go-kart racing.
The reason that you say this is because of the movie Cars. I know this. That's the only reason you don't like Formula 1 and that you like racing over it. Because of the movie Cars.
What about it?
That's why you don't like Formula 1, and that's why you prefer NASCAR.
No, dude, I just think Formula 1's so stupid. Like, Bray loves Formula 1. Honestly, he's probably the reason I hate it.
I'm fucking with you.
Bray's probably the reason I hate Formula 1.
That very well could be.
It probably is. It probably is.
I'll sit you down. I'll get you right with some Formula 1.
Nah.
My dad got me into Formula 1. That shit, it gets interesting, man.
Never. I feel like I'm cheating on NASCAR. I can't do it.
I've honestly watched less NASCAR now and more Formula 1.
That's crazy.
It's so much more fun.
Dude, NASCAR is just so American.
NASCAR is great for it is. Don't get me wrong.
It's so American.
Formula One's very European. You have to
I
be
know.
very
I'm
rich
not watching this European sissy shit. We broke free from that in 1776. Why the hell would I go back?
It's a free world. I can do what I want.
Give me NASCAR, beer drinking, belly swinging, Daisy Dukes, and fucking everything about NASCAR.
Free country for a reason. I can do what I want.
Formula One's like, ooh, tea.
Hey, bitch, I'll sit here and sip my tea.
NASCAR's like, ooh, give me a beer. Oh.
Well, then I guess that is why I like Formula One. I'm more sophisticated.
You are. I'm more beer driven. Last thing I had for today is I wanted to show you Ohio State's new basketball courts. They have one court which will be used by both the women's and men's team, probably, I believe.
I think I saw this. They're adding, like, booths. Right? Or what am I thinking of? It's like a little fucking booth thing next to the court side, no? Am I thinking
But the cool thing is that the middle logo is interchangeable.
Are they not changing some stadium at OSU?
The football stadiums are getting like they're getting like suites like for rich people, rich suites down by the stadium.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of. And it's like a little booth, but it's a suite, I guess. A suite.
They're gonna be $6,000 per ticket per seat.
That's crazy, but yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's what I thought you were. I didn't know they were changing basketball. So my bad. Didn't mean to make.
They're going right in front of me
like I'm retarded or something.
Sections.
Buddy goes. So, anyways, fuck you, bro.
I'll pull up this too for you. All right, so here is the little NASCAR turn I was telling you about. Seems like they're coming around. This
where it does look like it's in a okay,
yeah. Like the TV angle that they were showing,
this
it looked like it was in
another angle.
Yeah,
another angle. Zoom into this turn, can you? It's crazy that you don't just hit like Control Z or Control Plus or whatever.
Oh yeah, I probably could have.
The NASCAR, the Formula One drivers will fucking completely turn on the track, right? Mm-hmm. The NASCAR drivers, their whole car is gonna go on the fucking orange. They're just gonna skip the turn and go straight. Boink.
I saw a couple people do that. Yeah.
Yeah, every single one of them, pretty much. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's not even like, what's the point of the track being there if you're not even gonna?
Yeah. We're gonna figure out how to zoom out on this thing. My keyboard.
Control minus potentially.
No.
Something worked.
That's just full screen. That's sick though. I'm definitely using that. All right, going over to the Ohio State men's court. Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, so that we look less retarded.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So here's their new court. It's got the gray with the red on the outside. Which I kind of like. I think it's pretty cool. And they got that new block right in the middle.
No, I like that.
And then this is the other one. So the middle court's interchangeable.
The old one just looked like a normal basketball, like the brown wood.
Yeah, and then it had the Ohio State logo, like the actual Ohio State logo, like this one right here, that one up here, had that Ohio State logo, and then it had an outline of the state of Ohio behind it. But yeah, this is the new one. So that middle court's interchangeable, the little.
Oh yeah, I like that
thing. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I don't think it'll.
Yeah, the gray looks way sicker. They more places need to do that. Get away from the traditional wood look.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what you were talking about.
Yeah, see, I knew they were adding some kind of...
Yeah, so this is the student section right here, and then this the luxury suites are going to be right underneath.
I can almost guarantee those are going to get trashed.
And trampled on. When students rush the field...
That's what I'm saying.
When students rush the field, they're going to go right over top of this shit. And then possibly 100%. Jump on people.
I would.
Yeah, I would too.
I would jump right off the top of that over that little glass thing they got. I would try to make it.
I'm going to. Dude, if I'm there for a big win, I'm rushing the field. Oh, this is going to show us St. John's. Yeah. That's the old one, St. John Arena.
Oof.
That one was super cool.
That's ugly.
No, that was like in the 90s. This is the court that they used to have, but this is at St. John. That was their old court right before this one. for this new one.
Right.
Yeah,
so it had that traditional wooden look.
Yeah, that's St.
I like
John
the gray
Arena
a
right
lot
there.
better.
St. John Arena was so loud because look, they put seats right here too, on both sides, so the fans would literally be right on top of the court.
Damn.
It was so. It used to be so loud. Look at that.
Damn.
It only sat like 13,000 people, but it would sell out every game. And then, and then in the Schottenstein Center, it's 18,000, and they seat maybe half of it. Yeah, St. John Arena was sick.
So
they have it. We ought to go to a game this year. You and I, we can, because they do skull session at St. John before the game, which is like the football team. They come in and they it's essentially a pep rally. Football team comes in, the band comes in, they all play. Ryan Day and some of the players will talk. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's like a pregame tradition for Ohio State. Yeah, it's pretty sick. That's all I had.
Sweet, man.
Take it over.
Moving over into the Wild West, aka Counter-Strike. This shit has been crazy.
Yeah.
Last time we were here, though, we talked, IM Dallas was about to start off.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Vitality do win.
Yep.
Win in IM Dallas. That, to nobody's surprise. And they left that event 30-0. They beat everybody. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like, they beat Falcons 2-1 in the the semifinals, grand final. There's nothing more to say about Vitality and IM Dallas because
Vitality winning.
And they went in there was an interview with Apex. Like we didn't even come in prepared for this tournament. We just were kind of relaxing before the major. They were just trying to prepare for the major. So yeah, I mean, the most notable thing about IM Dallas, besides Vitality winning, was Simple on FaZe.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about Simple before.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the undisputed CS:GO GOAT. So he joined FaZe, but they also had another stand-in in Rain. Right, I think we talked about this. Oh shit, sorry. They had another stand-in. I don't know where I cut out. Okay, so Skulls was the other stand-in because Rain was having another kid. I think we talked about it last time. So they didn't even make the playoffs. But but that's because they didn't have Rain there. They had Skulls.
Is his name FaZe Rain?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So they got two FaZe Rains.
Yeah, and he's been on FaZe for 5-6 years. So he's been there. He's been around for a while. Maybe even more than fucking 6 years. Probably about 5 years, 6 years. But yeah, as far as Dallas goes, that's pretty much the only notable thing, right? Vitality take home the trophy. They go 30-0, and FaZe Simple looks pretty good. FaZe went off, or Simple went off. Had a good highlight against some teams. Had a sick 3 or 4K on Mirage to close out. It was he had a pretty good showing for his first time back since the Shanghai major. He stood in for Falcons, but he sucked. But the whole Falcons team did. Yeah. They had everybody. So that didn't really count. So the first time really in CS2 coming back, he's putting on a pretty good performance. But right after Dallas ended, stage 1 of the major pretty much kicked right off with a bang. Your 3-0 teams. So the way the major format works is 8. There's 16 teams in each stage. 8 advance, right? And to advance, you need 3 wins. And so until you have either 2 wins or 2 losses, you're going to play best of ones. You're only going to play 1 map against the player. Once you're at either that advanced match or your elimination match, that's when you get to the best of 3s. Right? So, and each stage is 3 or 4 days long. So the first day you'll play 2 best of. That'll be your 0-0 matchup, and your 1-0 matchup, or your 0. Whether you lose or win the first best of 1. Then the next day you'll have 2 best-of-3 matchups. Really, four best-of-3 matchups. 2 teams will go on, 2 teams will go out.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next day, you'll have all best-of-3s. There's no more best-of-1s. So there's only best-of-1s in the first 2 days, realistically. Because then you have 3 teams going out, 3 teams going in. And then the next day, the final day of each stage is the exact same. There's 3 stages, and each stage is the exact same. And on the final day, you just have 3 best-of-3s. 3 qualify, 3 do not.
Yeah.
All right. So the first stage, I should say. Your 3-0 teams, so the teams that didn't lose, they went straight on to stage 2, were Heroic and Bait. Heroic, we kind of know because Falcons stole their... I say stole. They bought them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They bought them, and so they kind of got scalped, but they got some good players. They got Sunpius from Falcons. Saul, who's already a good coach, plays for Falcons. They're both already reportedly going to G2 after the... So, Heroic's pretty much just a dead team anyway. They're just here to get as many wins as they can.
Yeah.
Pretty much just show what the players
trying to get some money before they lose everything.
Or just like gain
new players.
No, but like so the players are trying to show what they can do. So in case another team might want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they still want to come out and have a good performance. Bait Gaming is a full Ukrainian lineup, I believe. So in a very national lineup, but they went 3-0. They did really good in this major. And then your 2 teams that went 0-3, they just probably should have never been there. Fluxo and Metasport, 2 teams that are just, you wouldn't exactly...
Never heard of them, yep.
Exactly. Should have never been there. And then the next day, we had 3 teams going out. Here are 3 teams that qualified. And that day would be Bet Boom, Namiga, and OG. The only one of relevance is Namiga because they have a guy on their team, Risky Bob, and simply because of his name, I started rooting for him, and he started. So I was like, Risky Bob, and so glad they made it through. And then you had Chingus Warriors, Imperial, and Complexity going out that day. Sad, Complexity, the NA team wanted Complexity to do good, but they had a stand-in, so weren't able to do that well.
Shit happens.
Yeah, and then on the final day, we had fucking 2 Chinese teams. Somehow.
You got out there again, two Chinese teams, and
a Brazilian team.
Okay.
That made it through in that final day. So, Envision, Tyloo, and Legacy. Legacy wasn't even supposed to be at the major. The team that they're filling in for couldn't get their visas for enough players, so they just here. And they qualified to stage 2. They qualified to stage 3. And they're the ones that ended Vitality.
I was waiting for it.
They're the ones that beat Vitality in their
insane.
30-0 streak. I didn't want to say it yet, but the fact that team is even here, they're the ones that beat. Insane.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. NRG, Wildcard, and why they Wildcard is another NA. Very unfortunate for NA. NA major. All 3 NA teams do not go to the next stage. So
that's
sick.
Crazy.
Yeah. So after those 3 left, there's only 1 NA team left, and they made it straight to stage 2. And only won 1 game, got eliminated. And then after that, there's only 1 North player left in the major. And guess who he plays for?
Who?
FaZe.
Oh.
Elise, baby. Elise is our only hope. And FaZe made it to the playoffs of the major. FaZe qualified through stage 2 and through...
So did Vitality not qualify?
Oh no, they fucking... As soon as they lost to Legacy, they only lost like 10 rounds in 4 games.
Yeah.
They beat the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
Beat the fuck out of them. Should have never lost to Legacy.
That's what I figured.
Let me see, I'll tell you exactly. So they beat Namiga 13-6, They beat 3D Max 13-2, and then they beat Virtus Pro 2-0. It was a best of 3. They beat them 2-0. And I'm pretty sure Virtus Pro didn't hit 7.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, they just wiped the floor with everybody. The most boring, because it was just so convincing.
Ass whoopings.
I mean, it's just not even competitive. The best fucking matchup that we've seen in the major. I'm skipping all. Honestly, all these 3 stages, I'm skipping all over these 3 stages. I was gonna go through stage by stage, and at this point, it's all fucked. So we're just gonna go through the most interesting things.
Yeah. Right.
Falcons, obviously, they qualified. They were in stage 2. They went 0-2 on the first day. They couldn't win.
Yeah.
They fucking lost. They lost to Bait, and they lost to Lin Vision. After that, they played OG, and then MIBR, and then went out of the major fucking... Or 1-3.
Damn.
Nico and Monacy.
So Falcons are out.
The number 2 team in the world.
Yeah.
The second favorites to win the major.
Yeah.
Won 1 game in the major.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
They shit the bed. They played so bad. I don't even want to bring up the ratings because of how bad they were.
Yeah.
I know Magisk at one point had a .49 rate in a series.
That's awful.
Awful. Honestly, had a .7.
That's also bad.
Which is unreal. Yeah, it's unreal. Yeah. Which was only on 1 map, I think, not the series. But either way, it was unreal. Nico, on one of the maps, Nico went fucking like 1-10 at one point.
I could do that.
I don't even think I could do that. I don't think I could change any of these unless I'm sitting there lurking in a corner and it goes unchecked and I shoot the guy in the back.
I think I can throw a lucky grenade.
Oh, good. Hey, you're right. I've got pretty good utility. I guess grenade. Yeah, you're right. If me and my team line up a double nade somewhere, yeah, you're probably get a nade kick. That's about it. As far as stage 2, Falcons losing is like the only really eventful thing besides FaZe going through. FaZe also too. FaZe actually qualified though. So Falcons played MIBR in their final elimination match and lost. MIBR beat them, and MIBR advanced to the next day to play FaZe in another elimination match. 2-2. FaZe beat MIBR to qualify for stage 3. And then during stage 3, FaZe fucking went 3-1. 3-1. They only lost to Aurora, who ended up losing to Mouse, and FaZe beat Mouse. So riddle me that.
Yeah, I can't.
So it's a whole rock paper scissors type deal.
Everyone's beating everyone.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. One of the most eventful matches was the Mouse Liquid game, because Mouse went 0-2 at the beginning of the day 2, right? So they're on the brink of elimination. They have to win the next 3. Yeah, they have to win the next 3 best of 3 series in a row to make the playoffs, and they did. They did a very good job.
Damn.
They had a crazy comeback against another sick ass comeback against Legacy, because they ended up going against Legacy, who fucking beat Vitality in the 2-2 matchup. So they ended up knocking Legacy out. Thank fucking God.
Yeah, I bet you Legacy's sitting there. They're like, we got eliminated, but we won.
Well, that series was actually insane, because in map 1, Legacy beat the fuck out of them like 13-5. In map 2, Legacy got their ass handed 13-4. And then in map 3, I think it went to fucking overtime. Or maybe Legacy had like an 11-5 lead, and Mouse came back and fucking won the game.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a cool series. But
yeah,
the Mouse...
I bet you Legacy hey, we lost, but we won.
Fucking A. Weren't even supposed to be there, and they made it to stage 3.
And
almost made it to stage... Should have made it to stage... Or to playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs.
They just threw the lead against... Mouse had an incredible comeback.
Took down
as much as I hate to say it, because I hate... But... The Mouse Liquid game in the 0-2 matchup was also fantastic, because Liquid also went for 2. But that game was insane. The Liquid's offer had like 48 fucking kills in
Damn.
triple OT. The game went to triple OT in the O2 matchup, so it was on the brink of elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Pressure's on, and triple
That's crazy.
OT.
48 kills.
Crazy. Map 3, yeah.
That's wild.
Crazy, and couldn't win. 48 kills and lost.
That's even more wild.
Yeah. It's fucking unfortunate. But in stage 3, the most important things are your 8 teams for the playoffs.
8 teams of what?
8 teams that qualified for the playoffs out of stage 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to get into now. So you have, in your first upper bracket, lower bracket, obviously. In our upper bracket, we have Furia versus Pain.
Furia is the Brazilian team. Okay.
2 Brazilian teams. Furia and Pain are both Brazilian teams. Both crazy that they even made it to the playoffs. Furia just got the Kazakhstani offer. Remember how we were talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the other Russian. I don't know if he's Russian or Serbian or whatever. He speaks Russian.
That's the world.
Yeah. So they're technically international now. Remember I was pissed off. I was like, Furia, fucking, they needed to make changes, but this fucking change, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Bite my words in the fucking ass, because they made it to the playoffs in the major. They're actually doing extremely fucking well. They're playing very well. In my opinion, they beat Pain without a doubt. Pain got lucky that they beat Virtus Pro to even qualify for the playoffs.
So you think Furia's going to get it through?
I think Furia goes to the semifinals. Yes. I think Furia wins that Pain matchup and goes to the semifinals. Our next quarterfinal matchup is FaZe Mongols, and that's a rematch from Stage 3, where FaZe beat Mongols 2-0.
Okay.
So I've got FaZe. And Mongols fall apart in playoffs. On stage, Mongols cannot do shit. Haven't been able to all year. So I've got FaZe in that. And it's an NA crowd. They're going to be back in the only NA player left in the...
Yeah.
Come on. I've got faith in that.
In Dallas. No.
And Austin. Yeah. But
when do you leave for that?
Friday. I fly out Friday. And then, but FaZe not only has the GOAT of NACS, Elish, they have the GOAT of CSGO, Simple, and they have the GOAT IGL and Kerrigan. They're going to have the fucking crowd. Yeah. They're going to have the crowd on their side, 1,000%. So I've got that. I've got FaZe in that quarterfinal matchup. And then moving to the lower bracket, we've got Na'Vi versus Vitality, which that's going to be a good game. But honestly, Na'Vi should have not even qualified for playoffs. Vitality's going to wipe the fucking floor with Na'Vi.
Yeah, I feel like Vitality is just going to wipe the floor with everybody, especially after losing that. They're pissed off.
I agree. I think losing that was the best thing that could have possibly happened to them. Now they don't have the pressure. They don't have the pressure of trying to keep this fucking 30-0 streak alive.
Yeah.
So they're just going to come out and fucking... Yeah, you're right. Just going to blister everybody. So yeah, I've got Vitality obviously winning that matchup. And then our quarterfinal matchup is Spirit Mouse. So, I got Spirit.
Yeah,
Mouse
that's
fucking...
That's a good one.
Especially
after what Mouse did to stay in, just to make the playoffs.
That's what makes me nervous. They should have never even been in that position.
Yeah.
It should have. After Vitality lost that very first match, because they were the very first match of Stage 3, so everybody knew that they lost. As soon as they lost, it should have been Spirit Mouse 3-0, guaranteed, no matter what. How did Furia sneak in 3-0?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Mouse went 0-2. Mouse lost to fucking Virtus Pro. Mouse lost to Virtus Pro on opening day in a best of 1. And then Mouse lost to FaZe in the best of 1.
Yeah. The FaZe one I get.
Okay. Me too. Yeah, that's understandable. And then they beat Liquid, close as fuck though. That game shouldn't... Liquid's, as much as I'm a Liquid fan, Liquid's fucking ass. And they should... For Mouse being... Mouse, Vitality, Spirit, Falcons. Your four favorites to win the major. Yeah. And they went 0-2. They shouldn't. That matchup should not have even been close. The Aurora matchup, yes, it's a group stage, so Aurora's got a little boost. They fall apart in playoffs, just like fucking the Mongols do. So yeah, I take Mouse over that all day. That one being a little closer makes sense. But this fucking Legacy game, yes, Legacy has had an outstanding run, but that game should not have been as close as it was either.
Yeah.
Legacy should have won that game.
Yeah.
Like, unreal.
Yeah, being up 11-5.
Yeah, or something crazy like that. So I've got Spirit in that all day, especially when you have Donk, the number one fucking player in the who can literally go drop 40 kills in regulation at any time.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do against that? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, survive.
Absolutely nothing. You're supposed to, not even that.
Do your best
You're supposed to just
survive.
sit there and hope your head doesn't get ripped off your fingers. Like,
yeah.
There's nothing you can do. But that moves us into where, if we want to fill out the bracket real quick, that would have Furia and FaZe in our semifinal matchup, and then Vitality Spirit in our other matchup. So out of Furia FaZe, who do you think?
Furia FaZe, probably FaZe.
I'd have to agree. Furia's been doing very good, but with that crowd boost, I gotta give it to FaZe.
Yeah, and then you said
not only that,
and
now that FaZe has made the playoffs, this is the third CS2 major. The previous two, FaZe was in the grand finals.
Yeah.
If they make the grand finals of this, they'll be in 3 of 3 grand finals for CS2.
Yeah.
They haven't won one. They've been absolutely slaughtered.
But they're
absolutely slaughtered. But they're getting there. Well, the first one they lost to fucking Na'Vi. The second one they lost to Spirit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Na'Vi was beating everybody in that first season.
Yeah.
Like Na'Vi was the team to beat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got FaZe in that over Furia there, which puts FaZe in our grand finals, and then obviously Vitality, Spirit. Anything can fucking happen, but I've got Vitality. I've got Vitality. Just because Vitality Spirit has Donk, but that's all Spirit has.
Yeah.
Vitality has Zywoo, Rops, and Apex.
Who's their fourth?
Well, they have Flamesy and Mezzy, because there's 5 players, not 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, Flamesy is a. I think he's. Where is he from? Israel, maybe. Israel, somewhere over there. He's very fucking good. Very good at the game. Very good. He's their entry fragger, so he goes in first with like the Mac 10 jumping around because he's crazy. Like if you listen to interviews and shit with him, he's fucking like super energetic, super. Not somebody you would want to have just sitting on a bomb site staring at an anchor.
Yeah.
So they use him very well. He's always jumping around, boom, 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 doing shit. And then Mezzy is just one of their core rifles. He's right there in the pack with Apex and them because he's just got solid aim. He's a British player. He's the best British player in the world right now.
Really?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Potentially the only British professional in the world right now.
Well, if he's the only one, then he's most definitely the best.
Yeah, there's not a lot of them. Most of them are casters. But then, of course, you have Robs, who's the anchor, and the lurk, and he's fucking top 4 in the world. So, and then, of course, you have Zywoo, who's going to be number 1 in the world this year. It's between him and Donk, and then you have Apex, who it's between him and Kerrigan for kind of best IGL this year. Mm-hmm. Well, but he's going to win it because they've won everything. Mm-hmm. Right? So, Alexi B won it last year because Alexi B for Na'Vi, they were winning so much last year. And then all of a sudden, Robs joins Vitality, and they lose 1 game to Eternal 30-0. Don't lose back. They just don't. Back to back to back to back to back to back.
They don't lose.
They don't lose. They went
back to back.
Yeah, they went 6 trophies in a row. Back to back to back to back to.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It is.
Absolutely insane.
Actually, back to what we were saying earlier about no team's ever going to win 4 straight again in the major sports. Vitality.
Yeah. What? That's different. That's a little different. Now, if Vitality wins 4, that's crazy because there's only been one team to win 3 majors.
That's what?
Astralis back in 2018 and 2019. By far the greatest era of Counter-Strike anybody. They won 3 majors in a fucking row and would have went on to win more.
If what?
If the team didn't disband.
Yeah.
They would have went on to win more. Right, so I mean it's fucking crazy. Astralis back in the day was insane. I know I talk a lot, deservedly so, but yeah, back in the day they were fucking insane. That's back when Simple played for Navi and had to carry Navi to every grand final. Just could not beat fucking.
Wasn't that when they were when they went on like what was it, 24 game win streak?
No, that's Liquid. Liquid went on a. That's when Liquid went on a 23 game win streak, and that was the same year.
Yeah. Okay.
So there was 3 just stupid competitive teams that year.
Yeah.
So Astralis had like a 12, and a 13 match win streak that year. So they would win 12, win 13. You know what I mean? So just super consistent. Couldn't keep it that all the way. Whereas Vitality come along and got the second highest streak technically in history, and if we're counting during major cycles, the highest streak in major history. Yeah.
Yeah, if we're being real, it's the highest.
Yeah. But also, that 87-0 or 60-0 from NIP back in the day included best of ones. And the first best of one that Vitality played, they fucking.
Yeah. So. Yeah, best of ones are hard.
Very hard.
It's best of one. If you lose, you're done. There goes your winning streak.
And not only that, back in the day when NIP did it, it was MR15. So it was get to 16 win by 2, not get to 13 win by 2. So there was more rounds in the game.
Yeah.
More opportunity for you to come back.
Yeah.
Like, nowadays, it's just best of one should never even been a thing. They shouldn't have even had them in the major. They're not in any other tournament except for the. We haven't played one all fucking year.
Really?
Except for the major. Yeah. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I think in the Budapest major at the end, I think they'll get rid of best of ones because they're useless.
They ought to.
Yeah. All right, man. The very last thing I have.
Hit me.
Some of the most important and sad news. IEM Katowice, home of Counter-Strike's most prestigious tournament for 10 years, will no longer be in Katowice.
I think that was the first ever tournament we.
Yes, it was.
It
was.
Yeah. We covered. Yeah. That's crazy.
It was. They're moving it to Krakow.
Krakow?
So Katowice. No, Krakow.
Okay.
So Katowice is obviously it's a city in Poland. You obviously don't know. You did not know where that was.
No.
It's in Poland.
Yeah.
Krakow is just another city in Poland. So they're not moving very far, but they are moving.
So what the fuck
I imagine it had something to venue issues, maybe the venue. I really don't know the whole details to it, but I do know they are moving to Krakow. So IEM Krakow will be in place of IEM Katowice.
That's sad.
And Krakow, the Counter-Strike's been to Krakow before. We had a major. Was that one? Like 7 years ago, probably now. So it'll be cool, but still sad because Katowice is just such a iconic tournament. It's been around since.
Iconic for us. It was in the very first episode.
Right, and it's been around Counter-Strike since the beginning, dude.
Yeah.
For 10 years, they've been hosting tournaments since 2015, and that's when I think 2014 was the fucking first major.
That's wild.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You're good.
Good? Okay. Alright, man. Well, I think that's all I've got for today.
Well, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe,
Yeah.
do all the things.
Hit that bell down at the bottom.
Do all the things, comment, Share.
Yeah, put a comment down there. I'll give her a
I'll
heart.
comment back. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think of what will be upcoming for next week.
We won't be here next week.
Oh yeah.
I will be in Dallas or in Austin.
Yeah. Maybe I can get you on a call or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Get on your phone. I'll ask you how it's going. Tell me how it's been.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We'll figure something.
Maybe I'm hoping to get some signatures or something. So hopefully I'll be able to show you some cool shit. Yeah.
All right, that'll do it.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Use.